What is up, y'all? It's your boy Jermaine Event, Man on MMA. And today, ladies and gents, we are checking out this video, as you guys can see, from GeeKay, the homie GeeKay. And it's about Conor McGregor's anti-Irish crash out, if you will, against Paul Hughes. Explain. I don't know what a crash out means, all right? I'm getting old. I don't know what a crash out is. I listen to a lot of prison YouTube, right? And if I'm watching prison YouTube and someone crashes out, they're not just talking sassy. It's like usually something violent happens, like an action. They took action. They knew they were going to get caught. They were going to get in trouble. There were going to be consequences for their actions. And they wouldn't crash out. But somehow, tweeting is crashing out now. Niggas been sassy online since Nam. All right? Niggas been sassy online since Nam. And somehow that is crashing out. Like, I don't really get the lingo these days, ladies and gents. Getting old, but let's check out this video from GeeKay about Conor going in on Paul Hughes. I saw some of it, and honestly, dude, as a dude who I would say was once a huge Conor McGregor fan, huge Conor McGregor fan, it's really sad. I was cringing with all these tweets. It was weird. Let's check this out.
Going into his fight against Usman Nurmagomedov, Paul Hughes was the undeniable underdog. With a 13-1 record, the 27-year-old Irishman was going against the cousin of Khabib Nurmagomedov, under whose tutelage fighters rarely seem to lose, particularly those from Dagestan and especially those sharing his last name. And with Usman's dismissive attitude, it seemed like he was convinced that he was going to steamroll Paul Hughes as well.
You can do it here.
Few days.
If you want, you can do it here.
Do what?
Whatever you want.
Let him know.
We're fighting in 4 days.
Let him know.
You focus on that day.
Let him know. We can do it right here.
Every day.
You're looking past
Doesn't
me.
matter.
You're looking past
It doesn't matter.
Who are you?
Who
Exactly.
are you?
That's
Get out
it.
of here.
Being
Oh,
that
I'm
MMA
hyped.
is the most unpredictable.
I'm hyped. The fight already happened, but I didn't see that. If I saw that, I would have been super hyped.
Sport on the planet.
They don't be talking shit like that. The Dagestani niggas. He's talking shit. We could do it right here. All right, we can do it right here. Imagine Khabib. Khabib don't talk like that. Khabib's like send location or whatever. This nigga's like, we do it right here. Like, who are you? This guy is awesome. All right, Usman.
On the night of the fight, things did not go as intended, and Paul Hughes put him through absolute hell, surprising him with his fluid grappling that he used to offset the predictable but rarely countered Dagestani wrestling. And even though he lost the fight on the scorecards, Usman looked shell-shocked in the post-fight interview and gave him the utmost respect.
It was a great fight for me. I go to the deep ocean and I know what I can do for the next time. And I literally underestimate this guy.
And he wasn't the only one, as many of those watching at home were convinced that Hughes did enough to earn the victory. One of those being Conor McGregor, who praised his countryman on X. But just a couple of days later, footage emerged from the inside of the octagon where Hughes seemed to distance himself from McGregor when he was speaking with Khabib.
The media try to make us like not respect, but you know I always have respect.
Likely in an effort to extend an olive branch after Khabib praised Ireland in a post-fight speech. And naturally, as anything concerning Khabib tends to do, this touched a major nerve with Conor. And he went on a tirade against Hughes in the midst of which he told him to take off the Irish flag because he, quote, knew what he was from up there. To which Hughes issued a relatively subdued response, considering that this was major disrespect to somebody from Northern Ireland like he was.
I wasn't offended at all, and you know, now a lot of people in Ireland, especially in the north of Ireland, will be like, couldn't be any more deeply offended as the thing he said, but I'm not actually offended or didn't take it personally at all, because it sounds bad, but it just seems like it's another day in his life of being just tweeting madness.
Yeah, tweeting madness.
It's not like I seen that and went, oh, I can't believe he said
That's why I'm saying I really don't understand what a crash out is. As he's saying, it just seems like another day in the life of Conor tweeting madness. What's different now in this tweet, in this rant? Is a rant is a crash out a rant? Is that what that has morphed into? I'm not.
About me, I think it's just another day in the life for him, and I just don't hold weight to his opinion anymore as to these sorts of things. And it's kind of a sad thing to say that, but that's actually just the reality of how I felt. In fact, I kind of just laughed at it when I seen it. It's not something I've been thinking about all day and going, oh, this and my identity and this and that. It's like, yeah, initially I was like, don't come with my identity, like that's ridiculous. But then I was just like, this guy, he's on one, like, and I just don't care.
To those not from Ireland or the UK that are curious as to why what Conor said to Hughes is considered to be so provocative and controversial, this video is for you. In it, I'll explain why Conor implying that Hughes isn't really Irish is one of the most sensitive topics in that side of the world. Paul Hughes represents Northern Ireland, which is a separate entity from the rest of Ireland. Because when England began to colonize Ireland in its...
I had no idea it went this deep. This is crazy.
12th century, the northern part of it proved to be especially resistant. So in order to soften it up, they began moving people from England and Scotland there, giving them land. These people were Protestant, while Ireland was Catholic, and they identified with England a lot more than the rest of Ireland, receiving preferential treatment from what they considered to be the mainland. And over generations, that part of Ireland began to look at itself as an extension of England, culturally and socially. And English people generally considered themselves to be much better than the Irish, viewing them as being lazy and dumb. And because of that attitude, they offered inadequate relief during the Irish potato famine that lasted from 1845 to 1852, which led to thousands of Irish people starving to death and the already present anti-British sentiment to grow at an exponential rate, which in turn led to Ireland trying to separate themselves from British rule in a series of clashes known as the Irish War for Independence or the Anglo-Irish War. And this separated Ireland into two groups, loyalists and separatists, with Northern Ireland largely being loyalist and backing the British government and the rest being separatist and wanting to secede. Eventually, a treaty was signed in 1921.
Damn, I didn't know any of this. This is deep. I knew I knew the whole, like, there was that video that was popular of that one Irish actor who, like, was staring down the prince like he was about to swing on him type shit. And there was, like, because there's a long-standing beef with the English and the Irish, but I never really knew the history. This is crazy.
One, allowing Ireland to become independent, with the caveat that Northern Ireland stayed part of the United Kingdom. This led the Catholic population of the mostly Protestant Northern Ireland to face discrimination, with the government and the police force being mostly Protestant and loyal to...
It's kind of prejudice. This is weird, low-key, that he would say these things. I didn't realize what he was saying. I thought he was just saying, like, oh, you're siding with Khabib, take that flag off. I didn't know it was this deep. This is crazy.
To England, it was next to impossible to find a job or to get a...
He asked Conor before the fight to corner him. Conor turned it down. And now Conor is saying he's not a real Irishman. This is crazy.
Vote as a Catholic, as how much your vote counted was determined by how much property you held, and most of the property was held by Protestants, therefore most of the voting was done by them as well.
There was no promotion, if you were a Catholic, you just didn't get promotion. The Imperial Civil Service, if you worked in England, in London, you would get promotion, but if you were in the Northern Ireland Civil Service, there were people who weren't as experienced as you who were promoted over you.
This caused major civil unrest, to which Britain passed a law allowing anybody to be arrested without reason at the government's discretion, which led to thousands of Catholics being unfairly placed in internment camps, and for people to take to the streets with civil protests in response, which culminated in an event in 1970.
Man, they did these camps everywhere. Because I feel like they're doing that right now with Mexicans in America, but we did that with Asians during after 1942. They put just any Asian sounding or looking person in internment camps. We read the book Farewell to Manzanar. It's a girl's recount of the internment camps here in America. It's weird because people, they usually, when they think of these kind of camps, they only think about like Nazis, Auschwitz. There's no, I don't think we were gassing people here in America, but we definitely rounded up people based off of racism and put them in internment camps. And this was happening all over the world.
The two called Bloody Sunday, where British forces were deployed to stop a protest, opening fire.
Like, you can meet someone right now who was living in the internment camps in America. I'm telling you, these people are all still alive. They're still here. All right. You can talk to people who were there as children living in these racist internment camps.
Fire on the crowd and killing 13 unarmed Catholic civilians. This only ignited the movement, leading to a decades-long civil war known as the Troubles, between the Catholic nationalists fighting under the banner of the IRA or the Irish Republican Army, and the Protestant Unionists fighting under the banner of the UDA or the Ulster Defense Association.
Yeah, this is deep.
This was a bloody, brutal conflict lasting until 1998, where civilians were often victims of car bombings and shootings, ultimately resulting in over 3,500 deaths. These days, Northern Ireland neighborhoods are divided with giant fences known as peace walls, separating the Catholic and Protestant crowds.
What?
While the conflict is technically over, it was recent enough that many still remember it and are affected by it.
A lot better than it was when I was growing up. It was a pretty rough place to be. Rough as in terrorism. Rough.
I bet. That's what I'm saying. The people that live through these things are still alive. You can go talk to them right now about it. In Ireland, you can talk to this guy telling you how it was for him as a child. And you can, in this country, talk to many people. When I was in 8th grade, my teacher said his Hawaiian grandfather, they were tapping phones. They heard him speak in his Hawaiian dialect. He was rounded up, put into a camp just because he looked kind of Asian. You know what I'm saying? He's Polynesian and he was speaking a language they didn't understand. He got put in the camp.
And bombs going off here and there. Rough as in when I was a child, sat at a train station beside an unexploded bomb. Things like that most people of my age in Belfast would have experienced, probably in a far greater degree than me.
To this day, Northern Ireland is still part of the United Kingdom, using their money as opposed to the euro, which the rest of Ireland uses.
Wow.
And many of those living there still identify more with England and this culture, which is why Conor McGregor told Paul Hughes to take the Irish flag off, which is about as provocative as you can get. I hope you enjoyed this mini history lesson on this MMA and boxing devoted channel. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like the video if you liked it, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And
shout out to GeeKay, man. Woo. Dope history lesson there on the whole conflict between Northern Ireland and the rest of Ireland. When Conor told Paul Hughes to take that Irish flag off his back, I didn't understand that he was basically saying, yo, you're from Northern Ireland. You're not Irish. I did not understand I didn't understand how deep it gets, how deep it goes. Like, that's wild. Very provocative. Conor needs to calm down. He needs to lay off of the sauce, lay off the powder, man. Like, this is crazy. That's a wild statement. I didn't realize how wild it got. I did not realize just how wild it got. Let me know in the comments. You guys, is there something that maybe GeeKay missed? Something else here that I should know about with this whole? I didn't realize, dude, they even use like different money. They don't use the same currency. That's insane. Damn, it's deep. It's deep. If there's something else to this you feel like GeeKay missed, man? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing between Conor McGregor and Paul Hughes, and Conor saying he's not Irish. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for being here once again. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will see you guys when I see you guys. I'll holla.